Alright, I've seen a lot of you guys say that 2.2 is not that big, and I got a little upset about that, so I decided to make a... Wait, that's the wrong scene. There we go. I decided to take out some very old 2.2 features that people have almost forgotten. At least some of the ones that I have seen made me go, wait, what? Is that really 2.2? So we're going to be taking some really old but really cool features that a lot of people don't know about, and we're going to talk about them and see what I think about it. Maybe you guys can also write it down in the comments what you guys think about it. So the first feature we have is the event. Every time you see this picture, you think of 2.2, of course, but this button doesn't really seem that interesting because there's, of course, versus, which we have no idea how this menu is going to look like because of, it's going to be delayed to 2.21 perhaps. And let's first talk about event. Like, what even is that? We have gotten almost no information about it. When 2.2 beta version, the one that was sent to Google Play on like Geometry Dash World or something, people found out that this level or this menu looks like the weekly menu and the daily menu. So you get a level every like 12 days or something. And this level, I'm assuming, would be like a chosen level by Roptop for a certain event. For example, if you have Halloween, we may get like a contest on who can make the best Halloween level. So it can be set as an event level, so people can like beat it until the next event is here. And there are also rewards that you get from it. This feature is not gonna change Geometry Dash a lot, but I think it's very fun to have something like this because sometimes people just get bored of creating levels or just playing random levels. So this event lists or event feature, I think, is a very good addition to 2.2. And perhaps we can also race in the events levels on like YouTube. We can like collaborate with a bunch of YouTubers and they can like race to whoever beats the event level. And I can also imagine that there are certain achievements that you will get by beating certain amounts of events. And hopefully Roptop also added a bunch of achievements for the weekly and the daily, but we have no clue about that yet. The second one that I want to briefly talk about is the save. This one stores the old daily and weekly levels. We don't know if it's gonna store also the event levels, but what we know for now is that you can rebeat all the daily levels and all the weekly levels, which is a very good idea. Next, we have the 30 gauntlets. So many people have no idea that these gauntlets exist. These are real 2.2 gauntlets that have been announced in like 2018 or something. We have also these 3 extra gauntlets, which are first the Earth gauntlet, and we have the Galaxy and also the Universe. One of them is the Universe and one of them is the Galaxy, which I think they look very cool. And people said that some of the entries for the World gauntlet were too good, and so they didn't want to leave them behind. So they added 2 more gauntlets, which look just beautiful. Look at this. The gradient and shading is just so good. And this is a very good addition to 2.2 as well. You know what? I'm not sure if we're gonna get all of these gauntlets instantly when 2.2 comes out. I would highly doubt that, actually, because Roptop would love to make contests for every single gauntlet, and I would love to make like videos about building levels to get myself a bunch of levels in the gauntlets. That would be also fine. And also, you know what? Some of these gauntlets, you can look at them. They are very beautiful. And second to that is that some of them may contain only platformer levels or like a mix of normal and platformer levels, which I think would be amazing. Imagine if like this castle gauntlet was like a castle themed gauntlet where like there's a contest and people like put out the rules, like Roptop and Viper and all of these people, and people had to make like platformer levels with like boss fight in them. And then it would be like so awesome, like to have like a whole map that would feel like Geometry Dash World, if you know what I'm saying, like these islands that you beat. So that's basically in game and we get to participate in that, which is just, it's amazing, bro. Like you can't tell me 2.2 is not good. And we also got this one, which is the Discord gauntlet, because the Discord gauntlet entries were too good. So Roptop decided to create a second one. We have no idea what it's gonna called. As far as I know, I personally don't know that, but in my opinion, it looks pretty cool. And also it uses the old stone under there. I realized that all the new gauntlets use this one. You can see here it uses like this rectangular, you can say the square, but this one's like circle, which is like the very old 2.1 gauntlets, like the very classic ones. But yeah, I think these are very cool gauntlets. gauntlets as well. These ones are, I think, gonna come instantly with 2.2 as well as these ones. So we're gonna get like 5 new gauntlets. That's gonna be amazing. And over the years, I think I'm gonna get like gauntlets contests and we can like participate in them, which I think is gonna be so exciting. And the next feature I want to talk about is the moons. There's something very interesting about these ones. These are the new collectibles that you will get when you complete a platformer level. Platformer levels will not give you or reward you stars. They will give you these new moons, which makes me think, is there going to be a leaderboard for moon collectors? So you can basically see the highest amount of moons collected is by who. And I think this is so interesting because once 2.2 drops, like that's going to be the point where this race is going to begin. So everyone can participate and we can see the race just... I'm just so excited about it. Like every time you beat a... However, this is going to start once the first platformer level has been rated. This is where the race is going to start, which is going to be amazing. Like I can't wait to see how many people are going to just join the game to see and be the first to beat the level and refresh the leaderboard and have their name on there. This is a collectible that I'm assuming is going to show right in front of your stars on the profile. And you can also see it in the icon menu, I think, and also in the stats. Then we also have this small feature that allows you to basically, you know, correct yourself real quick in the chat, which I think is awesome. Anyway, here we can see all the gauntlets. Look at this. Look, imagine, like, look at the bottom, these dots. It's just beautiful. By the way, this is just a visual bug. It's going to be fixed in 2.2. Like, imagine having all these things, like different worlds that you basically have to complete. And also here we have a new death effect. Some people know this, some people don't. The next feature is, I don't know if it's going to be in 2.2 or not, but Ruptop has briefly talked about it in 2021. People asked him to make like harder difficulties than extreme demons, because currently there are so like ridiculously difficult levels, and he said he may add one and call it like Extreme Plus or something. So this makes me wonder, did he add it and just leave it like a huge secret for the whole community to figure out once 2.2 drops, and then like seeing these like Slaughterhouse being rated that difficulty? I think that would be kind of mind-blowing. I'm not sure if this is going to be in 2.2. I don't want to give you guys hype because it may not be in 2.2, but we're going to have to see. I really hope that this is in 2.2 because currently like the levels are just mind-blowing. Like, how do people even do this? Today I streamed and I was barely able to like beat a medium demon, let's put it that way. And next up we have this spider running animation that we can unlock. You have that like these robot and spider animations, like this one for example. As you can see, it's running like a Naruto thingy, and Ruptop has said that you can buy this at the Mechanic or something, like this new shop that's coming with 2.2. And he said that a lot of new animations are going to be added to the robot as well. Like he said there are going to be like 3 or 4 new robot walking animations, and they are just sick. Here are the animations. Look at this. This is the normal one, and this is like an advanced one, and this is just ridiculous. Imagine equipping this in the platformer mode. I think that would be amazing. Yeah, this is something that almost like I haven't seen anybody talk about that, and it wasn't in the leaks, so perhaps Ruptop like secretly removed it or something. I don't know, but it's very interesting to think about. And next up we have the duel in platformer mode, which is just, look at this. It's gonna be weird. And you know what's even cooler than that is that you can like place a passable block and let it follow the first player, and then the second player could basically jump on top of the first player. Imagine having like a 2-player mode where you have like a bunch of doors and keys where you jump on stuff. Like you have to use your icons, both of them, in order to get to a certain place. I think that would be, I don't know, it all comes down to the creativity of this community, which is pretty much like limitless, I would say, like zero limits at this point, because this community is just mind-blowing. Like imagine how many beautiful levels the Geometry community is going to make with these new features. Like, oh my god, this just makes me excited about platformer mode. At the beginning I wasn't really that excited about platformer mode, but now seeing how much potential it has, it makes me want to play it so desperately. Yeah, let me know. I would like to see what you guys think about this one. I think this is such a good addition to 2.2. He was not going to add it, but then he was like, okay, let me just add it, okay? And then we ended up having duel in platformer mode. I hope he still has that in platformer mode. Otherwise, you know, that would be a little bit of an oopsie, but I think this is, I hope he has it because there are a lot of things that you can do with it. And another feature, but this time for the editor, we have this ginormous menu. And this is a menu that I completely forgot about. This is like a new trigger that basically activates, it can activate group 1 or group 2, depending on the amount of time that you have spent, the amount of attempts that you're on, the amount of, you know, points you have. I don't know what these ones are, but you can also set it to like these pickup items that basically increase in numbers. And then you can like say if the item is equal to, you know, 300, then do this. Otherwise you can do this. You see all of these buttons? I think these are like do this, or if it's not like this, then do that. If it's less than 300, do this. And if it's more than 300, do that. And here we can see like an expression, I would say, like a printed out thing to you know, make it just easier to read for us, I would say. Here we have the tolerance, I think. I don't know what this is supposed to mean, but maybe like range, maybe like in the range of 300 and plus minus like 300 or something like that. I'm not quite sure. And we have the modifier. Like there are so many unexplainable things in here that I have to talk about in my tutorial videos actually on my channel somewhere once 2.2 drops. But this just makes me wonder, how many opportunities is it gonna open for Geometry Dash creators, especially for the platformer level? For example, if we go on to the first 2.2 sneak peek, we see this level, and once it starts, it like moves the camera left, right, boom, boom, and then the level starts. But if this trigger did not exist, we would have to restart this camera movement every single attempt. But this trigger allows you to only have this camera movement thingy, like showcasing the level, only on the first attempt, which is just amazing. I really wanted to have this feature in 2.2, and thank God RobTop decided to add it with a ton of more variations and possibilities than I thought. As you can see here, just a huge menu, and I just love this trigger, dude. And next up we have the level debug system, which basically shows you if you're in your level, you can basically enable this, and it's very good for optimizations. If you're like optimizing your level, you can see, for example, the time that you've spent, the attempts. This is very normal stuff. Gravity XY active. This goes to show you how many active objects are right now on the screen. So if an object is like beyond this boundary in here, it will not count, I think, because it would be inactive. And we have the audio, how many sound effects are being played or how many are active at this moment. Preferences, this is like how many move triggers are happening right now, and you can see 108, and this is because of this bridge. It goes like up and down and stuff. And I think also the lava has a little bit of movements as well, or maybe this is like for the whole level, how many, you know, move triggers it has. And also you can see a bunch of more triggers. The area trigger as well has its own section. You can enable this. I think I'm going to do that as well when I make platformer levels, to make sure they are also playable on phone, because obviously we want that. We don't want to leave mobile players behind. But yeah, this is, I think, a very good addition to 2.2, and I have, like, it's been a long time since I've seen this, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Next up, we have the custom ending. As you can see, in 2.2, there are various ways to have your own custom ending. Now, this menu is not in 2.2. This is just fan-made by me. This is not official. This is only made by me in like 2019 or something, but I think it's very interesting because I've asked RobTop about this, and he said you can set custom endings, which I think is going to lead for a lot of really good looking end screens, let's put it that way, because the current end screen is kind of whack, you know. It's just good for Stereo Madness and Back on Track, but for the rest of the levels it's pretty boring. It's a classic one though, for real, I gotta admit on that. But it would be kind of interesting to have like an ending that fits your level, you know, your level theme. Or you can like disable the shake on the end screen, because that always has, you know, a little bit of annoying stuff for your end screen custom level. Like you have like an end screen with like the level name and stuff that could a little bit interrupt, but I think that you can set all of these settings in 2.2, which I'm also super excited about. And next up we have the paths. Look at this, there are these paths and we have no idea what this could be. And if you saw the previous menu at the beginning of the video, you will see that lists was in here, and paths did not exist at all. So this one was replaced with the save, but believe it or not, the save has now been moved into the daily and weekly and maybe the event. I'm just gonna open up Geometry Dash on Steam to show you the exact position of that button so you can see how you can, you know, access the previous dailies and weeklies. It's gonna be somewhere up here, I think. There's like a save that you can click on and you can like basically access all the old dailies, and from here probably weeklies, which I think is a very good placement instead of having like a whole menu button. Like these ones are just the most important things in the game. Also, you can realize that Hall of Fame does not exist anymore in the new menu. This is like the completely new menu. You can see there are lists and there are also paths, and I think paths are there just to help you proceed with the story of Geometry Dash, because as you guys know, throughout 2.1, this green monster has done some very weird stuff, and the story is gonna continue like RobTop said, and it's just so huge right now. Like we can see like this monster appeared at the end of the first sneak peek and the map is locked for some reason. Like this guy escaped and he had like ideas to destroy the world of Geometry Dash or something, and it just, I don't know, I'm just curious about what is gonna happen in 2.2. Like how is that story continued, what really happened after that. And I think the paths is just there to, you know, guide you through that. However, I could be wrong. Paths could be something completely different, especially because it has these like shards on them for some reason, like these old shards. I don't know why, but we're gonna have to see once we get 2.2. And yeah, I think this is the end of this video. These are all the things that I found which are quite unknown, I would say. Like so many of these things I've already forgotten, which, you know, considering how big 2.2 is pretty understandable. But yeah, it was just fun taking a look at all these like very old features that we're gonna get in 2.2, just to higher the expectations even more, because some of you guys don't think that 2.2 is big, but I promise you it's huge. Maybe not at the first glance, but I promise you in the first 2 months or something, you're gonna be mind blown. But yeah, let me know about which feature was your favorite and how you think that's gonna shape the community of Geometry Dash. And I will see you in the next video. Make sure to slap that sub button and also like. And yeah, I'm out. I strongly believe so that I'm gonna just go ahead and eat. Okay guys, I just want to come here along real quick. I hope you guys can hear me, but either way, I'm just gonna say thank you guys a lot for the recent support.